Okay, without wasting time, again, selamat bergabung sekali lagi untuk training kita untuk pada hari yang ketiga ya. Hari ini hari yang ketiga. Bersama dengan kita hari ini kita ada bersama Miss Martha. Okay, tanpa membuang masa, I will give this space to Miss Martha. Yeah, now we can see from SD Vidya Kirana. So dia shy, malu-malu. Okay, Miss Martha.
Yeah, okay. Hello, good morning to everyone. I'm sorry I'm not looking more presentable. I'm just still recovering, so hence the mask. Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, my side clearly. Thank
Is
you.
everyone else okay? If it's okay, just give us a thumbs up so we know that we are not talking into the air because we are going to be discussing something important. So before we get into that, thank you, Jessica, for the session, for to get all the educators together. Thank you for all the educators out there, and also Angela. Thank you for your time. So I think most of you already know what I do, who I am in Eduseeds. I've been here for almost 14 years. So working on the curriculum, content development, and so forth. So I essentially now I head the academics team, and I'm also the CEO for Eduseeds Malaysia. So, okay, now that we have got introductions over, let me just share the screen. Um, okay, Jess, I need to share the screen. Could you enable me to share?
Yes.
So I'll jump right into it.
You try to share, Miss Martha.
Okay. Okay. So first foremost, let's see. Okay, can everybody see the screen? So can see the screen, huh? Okay. So, okay, once again, welcome. Today we are discussing what is the difference between the O-level O-level English 1, 1, 2, 3, and also the IGCSE ESL or English as a second language. Now, I'm going to be very brief here. So generally, this is how the main difference is this. Yeah. So if you see on my left is the components that involves English O level 1, 1, 2, 3. Sorry. Let me go into okay. So in O level 1, 1, 2, 3, you only have two components, which are paper 1 and paper 2. For IGCSE English as second language, there are three papers, which are paper 1, 2, and 3. As you can see, for the ESL English, IGCSE ones, paper 1 is reading and writing together, paper 2 is listening, and paper 3 is speaking. Now, so this is an overview. So when we talk about O level 1, 1, 2, 3 English, there are two components. For IGCSE ESL, there are three components. Now, what is the difference? Let's look at them in detail. So for O level 1, 1, 2, 3, the assessment details are as such. So I won't be reading everything on it. So because it's I hope this will be very clear. We can share this after the session is over. So there is paper 1 in reading, and you can see there are 50 marks there, and the time allocated is 2 hours. Okay, so that is 50% of the exam, and paper 2 is writing, and there's 50 marks, and there's a 50% of the paper, and the types of questions are as shown. Whereas for the ESL, I want to make a quick note here to say that the code we use is 0510. I will come to it at the end, why this matters. So there are three components. As you see, the mark weightage is shown here. So paper 1 is reading and writing, paper 2 listening, paper 3 is speaking. So each of it, the time allocation is there 2 hours, 50 minutes, and speaking is 15 minutes. And the mark allocation is such. Are we good so far? Okay, are we good so far? If you are, then give me a thumbs up because I'm going to take you a little bit deeper right now. Any questions at this point? All good? Okay, all right. Okay, so now I'm going to give you a little bit more on the other types of what are the other components, yeah? So we started from remember earlier we talked about 1, 1, 2, 3. So for the papers, hang on, let me just go back. So these are the details which I just shared earlier. And once the students are familiar with this, then it shouldn't be a problem. So as educators, we will need to tell them, okay, paper 1, you have 2 hours, paper 2, you have 2 hours, and so they are mentally prepped up. Okay, so these are the different components of the paper itself. So what are the objectives? The objectives are such, okay? So they have to read a wide range of texts, okay, with good comprehension skills. They have to read critically. They have to write accurately, and they have to work with all the information within the text, right, to get the idea of the language. And then also there's vocabulary involved. Now, what are the skills needed for this paper? So they have to understand explicit, implicit. That means hidden meanings and obvious meanings in the text. And then they have to think about it, they have to analyze, and then they have to evaluate, and then they have to develop. And then they have to use all the other components, which is to use the information accordingly. All right. Now, these are all the details where you have so many different types of questions. So in the comprehension paper, you have let me see. You have the question 1, which is the comprehension task, okay? And then they have to go according to the text A, which is a narrative. And then there's a question 2, still on the same text. And then they have to, this time is all about the usage of language, right? And so forth. And then there is still on paper 1, the question on 3A and 3B, which is the summary task. And in the summary task, the number of words is, the text itself is about 550 to 600 words. But students summarize it in not more than 150 words. And question B is where they will respond according to the text with implicit meaning. So they have to understand all of what is the writer talking about in the text B. And the answer must be short. That's why it's short response task. Okay. Now for the writing paper, okay, it's basically about expressing their imaginations and how they are going to organize the thoughts, right? Of course, they must have good vocabulary, sentence structure, proper registers, and of course, you can't run away with grammar and punctuation. Now, for paper 2 also, there is another part, which is directed writing, and then there is composition. So I'm not going to bore you with all the details here. What I need you to understand is that the components of it and what is required of the students in terms of their skills. Yeah. So directed writing can be emails, can be reports, can be what else? Can be articles or reviews and stuff like that. So they have to write about 350 words maximum, and the total marks is 25. And then there is another composition where they choose from narrative or descriptive questions. So they do have choices. Yeah, and that is another 25 marks. Okay, now for 2024, right, there have been some exam format changes. All you have to know is that these 12 main changes, all right, in 2024, for those of you who are students sitting for the October, November, so this is something that good to know, yeah? So there is a change of word count. I'm looking at the first bullet point, right? So there is 150 words or less. and then there's syllabus content, and then there is integrations of skills, which is 80% reading and 20% writing. And then there are also 2 reading texts printed separately in an insert. Okay, so these are some of the things that you have to be wary of. And then the next 4 is the section 8 and section B, the comprehension, and then the summary, and also the new questions evaluating the understanding of implicit meanings and attitudes and so forth. So the mark criteria has also been updated. So it's 50 marks for both papers. And then the writing paper itself, they have stimulus and reading text. Okay, now what does that mean? The writing paper is, let me see. Yeah. So previously, the directed writing, they give you some points and so forth. But this time, it is inclusive of the text that has to be read by the students. Yeah. Okay. And then you have integration of skills, which is writing and reading, but the percentage and the weightage has been changed. And then the directed writing has to be written in a different type of styles. Like it can be argumentative, it can be discursive, persuasive, and so forth. Okay. And in paper 2 writing, there are no more argumentative essay option. Previously, there was. Okay. So now for both papers, paper 1, paper 2, the duration is now 2 hours each. Okay. Okay. Any questions so far? Or is it too much to absorb? Are we good? Thumbs up, please, if you are okay. Okay, I know it's a little bit daunting, but don't worry. Whatever we have spoken, we have videos already done, prepared. So that's that. So now I will move on to the ESL. Now for ESL, it's a little bit different. Let me just share the screen first. Okay. So for the IGCSE, earlier I did share there are 3 papers. Paper 1, which is reading and writing, and then you have the other component. One of it is speaking, and then you have the listening. All right. Hang on. Okay. So we have these 3 components, and they're all externally accessed. Speaking sometimes can be done with the certified school. So I don't know how that works in the Indonesian side, but I'm sure we have an understanding over there. Okay, so in reading and writing, paper 1 has got this many exercises. Now, of course, if you see the text is slightly shorter than 1123, which is about 400 to 450 words, right? For 1123 earlier, the reading paper is about 600 words. So that is why you have the difference. Now here, the candidates will read a range of text to understand the facts, opinions, purpose, implied meaning, and so forth. So it could be articles, leaflets, blogs, reviews, instruction, web pages, and so on. So, right. So in exercise 1, they have to answer 5 questions, 1 mark each, and then they will move on to one of the questions. The final question requires 3 short single word or phrase answers. So there's 8 marks here. Okay, so there's total 8 marks. And then exercise 2, they go on with this, and there are 9 marks in total. And exercise 3, 7 marks. Yeah. Okay. So when we move on to exercise 4, 5, and 6, because it's also reading and writing paper, so they will exercise 5 is already a writing task. Yeah. And then this is where they have they will be given question and then prompts, and then the candidate must write an email, and full marks is 15 marks. Okay, and then the final one is the exercise 6, where it's review essay a report or articles. That's the number of words there. And then you have 15 marks in total, right? 9 marks for language and up to 15 marks. Okay. Now, for the listening paper, is exercise 1, 2, and 3. Approximately 50 minutes, right? Including 6 minutes of transfer time. So these are some of the key things you have to know for you to be able to practice with the students. Yeah. So the paper 2 listening is this component, exercise 1, 2, and 3. And then, okay, the first one, there are 8 short recordings. Okay, there are 8 short recordings. And then they select the correct answer. Exercise 2, they listen to 5 short extracts and then they choose the correct answers. Exercise 3 is a monologue, all right? And then they choose the correct word or phrase, okay? Right, and then there's exercise 4 and 5. Now, for exercise 4 is also another monologues, okay? There are 2 speakers and then, exercise 4, and then they also select a word or phrase. Now, why is this important to know? Because sometimes it can be overwhelming for the students. So I would encourage teachers, educators to do some mock rounds. As of now, I'm not too sure whether the specimen papers are out. I think once the June exam is over, maybe we can get hold of some. And then we will share them with you if we can. We'll probably give you the link to it. Yeah. Okay. And then, of course, we have the speaking component, which is exercise 1, 2, and 3. Exercise 1 is an interview. 2 is short talk, and then 3 is discussion. So I know this may sound is a lot of words, and things, but we have some examples of the videos in our LMS, so you can refer to that. Okay. So the marks breakdown, this is how they are going to evaluate and award the marks for the students. Okay, they are now going to have like grammar for 10 marks. Okay, the 40 marks will actually come from this part, these components: grammar, vocabulary, development, and pronunciation. All right. So the 1123 paper, there are also some changes, and we have listed the 10 changes here. So there is no more tiering, right? Where the students sit for one paper only with no more core or extended. Okay, they have removed that already. There is no more summary task. They have replaced it with the MCQ, right? And then they have added a category now known as essay, which is a writing task 6. And then the marks allocation for writing is 15 marks for exercise 5 and 6, unlike the previous one. Okay, so the weightage is also different because the emphasis now is more on language. Okay. Of course, the change of exam timing is 2 hours for reading and writing paper. So it means for the students, they have a little more time, right? Previously, I believe it was 1.5. Okay, now all the listening paper is all multiple choice questions. And then the seventh change is that the listening paper marks is 40 marks for 50 minutes. Yeah. Now the last 3 is that the speaking paper has now 40 marks graded separately. So now the code is 510 for all. Yeah. Let me see. Okay. Change in the speaking paper format. Okay, that means they are all graded, yeah. The 3 sections will be graded, and then the assessment card is given out only for part 2. Those days they used to have cards for all the sessions, but now they have only for part 2, which is just a short talk. Okay, so these are the main changes for ESL and 1123 paper. Are there any questions?
We have few questions, Miss Martha, on the chat box.
Okay, hang on.
Thank you.
In teaching videos, are there really paper assignments given for students? No, we are unable to provide those because of the change in the syllabus and so forth. What the teachers in our school in OS Subang is doing is that we are just doing the lessons as per the books, and whenever the reference is used in a book, so they will give you the book reference like the page number or whatever in the videos itself. I think this question has come up because last time we do give you, I think, some form of assignment sheets, if I'm not mistaken. All right. So there are no assignment given for this. So they will give the assignment from the book. I will show you what books is being used right now, so that will make the transition smoother, right? Some of the learning videos in English 113, we don't mention any assignment. Does that mean students don't need to write? No, it does not mean that they don't write any more assignments. When the teacher mentions the assignments, the students will carry on as per normal. But if there are no assignments, as a teacher, I think you can assign something to them. You can. So it does not mean that they don't do any assignments. Yeah. If this is true, then what about the assessment in those sessions that we do not require us? I think I've just answered that. Angela, anything else?
Okay, that is from Pahadi Center. Pahadi, is it answer of your question or you want to add it more? While Miss Martha here can answer your questions directly.
Yeah,
Yes,
for this one, that's my question.
yes.
I'm from my teacher, Tania, because this time maybe she's still busy to arrange the student. Yeah. I think it's enough for this time.
Okay. What I can do is that I will just hang on. I will just share the screen now for the our LMS. I can just take you through. Okay, let's start with this. So you should have access to this, educators, for IGESL and 1123, all right? So if I click on IGESL, you will see 4 folders. So please refer to the first 2, which is grade 9. We have put the year here, 2024. Yeah, 2024. So you can use the lessons inside here, but be careful of the exam formats because they have changed here and there, like what I've just discussed with you, the 10 changes for ESL. So if let's say we go to grade 9, right? Okay, so January, we didn't have any lessons, but if you go to grade 9, you will have all the lessons inside here, right? So we have put it in by month for you. And these are all the lessons that the teachers are doing, and we have recorded them live. So please be informed it is in a classroom setting. Yeah, classroom setting. So for example, this part, I believe this is one of it. Let me just run you through. This is actually where the teacher is doing the speaking examination, the speaking practice, I mean.
Miss Martha, I cannot hear the.
You can't hear it?
Yeah.
Okay, it's playing fine here.
Oh, how about the other?
Can I hear probably when you share, Miss Martha, you have to check the audio to include sound. When you share screen and then you check that box, the bottom left.
Okay, hang on.
Include audio. Then
share sound. Okay, I missed that. Okay.
Thank you.
Just a minute.
Does everyone understand?
Better now? Let me just go back.
Computers and other electronic
Can you hear now?
Yes.
Okay, sorry about that.
devices are part of everyday life for many people today. Discuss this topic with the examiner. Use the following prompts in the order given below to develop the conversation. 1. Times when you enjoyed or didn't enjoy using a computer. 2. Reasons why people you know use computers and other electronic devices.
Okay, so I'm just going to fast forward here where he
Enjoy
actually
using your
does
computer
this
and why.
for students. Okay, so you can refer to this for the speaking exercise, and then you can go through it month by month. Okay. On the same note, for the G10 2024, this recording we are still in the midst of it, right? So we are now only in June, right? But if you go into the first few, because this is exam prep, so the first one will be similar to what I've just shared. So if you want to understand the components involved, please click into these videos and you will have another person actually giving you lots and lots of details about the paper. Yeah. And then if you go into the next one, there will be all these guide to speaking content and common types of text. We are still in June, so you will have this. So this is being updated on a weekly basis. So, okay.
When you have different types of text, it makes reading a lot more interesting. So there are a few types that students must know for the IGCSE. Third one, conversations. Monologues. If you remember in the last video what monologues are, you should be able to differentiate monologues and dialogues. Articles in almost every test paper.
Okay, so we have this, and we are building up the content right now also for the 1123 paper for exam prep and also for grade 9. So you can refer to this as a classroom. You can get the students to look into this. Now for 1123 grade 10, we have also the exam structure. What are the components, as I've shared previously? And in June, you will have all of this. And here what we are doing is we are getting teachers help to put in exam type of questions. So they actually tell you how to answer the questions and what is the marking scheme. So if you look at this exam question here, question 4, it is about narrative, if I'm not mistaken.
Of 1123 narrative exam. There is question 4 and question 5. If you recall what I had said earlier in the lesson, you are graded. Yeah. Okay. Now let's get into the two types of exam question. So the first type of will be used in questions is given. The question is like this: write a story that includes the sentence, "It was the best event I have ever attended." Okay, this whole sentence, "It was the best event I have ever attended," is to be used in your writing. Now okay, so majority at the question. Study the question so that you don't go out of topic.
Okay, so we have this in our LMS, which is made available to everyone. Yeah, so this content is being built month by month. So we have so far narrative and descriptive in the lesson. Okay. Is there any more question? Okay. Okay. Any questions? Let me see. Oh, hang on. I also have something to share here, which will be quite let me see. Hang on. I will give you a link to where you can actually get the books if you are interested. Yeah. this one. So for ESL, you can click into this. I will post this in the chat box right now. So easy for everyone. You can take a look at it. Okay. Yeah, I've just posted that. So for anyone who is interested, you can take a look at it. So make sure you get the latest edition. I believe for 1123, they're already on the 5th or 6th edition. And also for ESL, is already on the 6th edition. Yeah. So I hope that that is helpful to everyone. Okay, I am basically done, Jessica and Angela.
Miss
Yeah.
Martha, one question.
Mm-hmm.
From the teacher. Previously they asked about, because they are using GSS system. So for the subject English,
Mm-hmm.
they mentioned that not all video teaching, there's a paper assignment. So there's some material is, didn't appear at the score to set the goal.
Okay. So for this one, I mentioned just now, I think it was posted is in the chat just now. For grade 9 and 10, 2024, that means the latest videos, there are no assignments that is being uploaded because it's a new, I mean, there are some exam formats, so the teachers will be using the book itself to tell them which pages they are on or whatever. So it will be within the slide. Okay, so there are no assignments that is being uploaded simply because the teachers are not giving, the assignments are from the book. Okay. Jess, any more questions?
Yeah, you hold on now.
Mhm.
I'm trying to understand the question.
Oh, okay. They can ask, from this thing, I think it'll be faster.
Because some centers they can't join us due to they have graduation. Because this week is their end of their school calendar.
I see. I see. Okay, I'll wait for while you digest the question.
Okay. Maybe from Kudus, anything from Kudus side while you are teaching the English subject? Oh yeah, Miss Martha. Can you give the suggestion, which is because for our other subject Eduseeds, we follow by monthly, right? Like this month is one book, next month is another module. So what is your suggestion for the English subject? Because we don't have books yet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So what I will do, okay, I'm just using 1123 2024 as an example, yeah. For 2024, for grade 10, try to finish as much as you can because the exam is in October, November, correct? So that's for grade 10. So whatever we upload, let's say for the month of June here, whatever you can finish, please try to finish. But my suggestion will be at least uh 4 to 6 lessons in a month. That would be my suggestion because some lessons are short. Okay. But if you want to go to grade 9, okay, let's look at grade 9, 2024. So you have like, let's say in March, you have so many lessons, right? Okay, so this units here, unit 2, unit 3 is basically following the book. So it's actually easy to refer. So if you have, depending on your frequency, how many times you have, excuse me, how many times you have the lessons, right? You should have at least once a week for 2 hours or 1 hour 45 minutes, right? You try to finish at least one to 1.5 lessons or whichever is convenient for you, but at least one lesson a week. Because as you can see, there is so many lessons here, right, in 1 month. Yeah, 16 lessons here. Okay, so 16 lessons in a month, I would do 2 a week. Okay, does that answer your question?
Yes.
Okay,
So,
because sorry, Jess. So
okay.
if you notice, it's uploaded. We have uploaded month by month. We are following whatever the teachers are doing here. So some lessons, like you see here, is only about 12, 11, 12. So then once you open up the screen, you would know, okay, there are 12 lessons here. Then you can divide your time accordingly. And if you think you cannot finish, give the work to students, ask them to go and watch the videos and then see how it is done. So it'll be easier so you can catch up on your time. Okay, there is a questions here. There's for our students who are expected to complete level 8 this October, can they immediately undergo IG or do they have to wait until next year, January, module which is plotted per month? Okay. Uh, I think it's a great idea for them to jump to IG straight away. There is no reason to wait. Yeah, you can jump into it. And then, so that will give them more time when they come to grade 10. They have more time for exam prep. They have more time for past year papers and all that. So if you finish in October, you have November, and I don't know your school calendar whether December is a holiday. For us, it's a holiday. So our students really don't study, I think, in December. But maybe if December is still a holiday, school day for you, get them started. Don't need to wait. That's the beautiful part about the LMS and all the lessons within the components, so they have more understanding. Remember, we believe, and I think it is true, practice will make you better. It won't maybe not make you perfect, but it will make you better. So yes, please start immediately. If your schools are okay, parents are happy, you are happy, students won't be happy, of course, because it's a lot more work for them. But yeah, carry on. I would suggest for you to jump in.
Very clear. Thank you, Miss Martha.
Okay.
Miss Martha, another
Okay.
question.
Sure.
Just now you explained very well regarding where to get following the books, right?
Mm,
The chapter by
mm,
chapter.
mm,
How about the test site?
mm-hmm,
Yeah, because our Eduseed we have monthly tests. We have the module test. So
mm-hmm.
for 1, 2, 3 and ESL, what is your suggestion in terms of the test site?
Okay. We don't have a monthly test per se because we are so following the videos from the teachers. But let me see whether we have any test papers that we can get hold of. Okay, the reason the test part is a bit tricky is simply because 2024 they have changed the formats. And we don't want to use past year questions based on 2023 and below because the formats are wrong. Not wrong, it's different. And then the mark allocation is also different. That's the reason why one of the main reasons we are also not giving any papers out there. However, we can check with our site to see whether they have any form of assessment that is being done that we could share with you guys. We will come back to you on that.
So okay, another question.
Mhm. Yes.
This is from Pekalongan side.
Mm-hmm.
They are asking when the Eduseed English will be ready.
Okay, that is a $1 million question.
Yes.
It's really a $1 million question. Okay, I know we have not done the modules for the English. Okay, a couple of reasons for that. We actually did start sometime in 2019 or 2018. We did start writing it with the writer, right? But unfortunately, the qualities that we keep getting for English is not up to par with what Cambridge itself would desire. Yes, at Eduseeds, we have our own quality, but we have to benchmark it. That means the bar has already set here already, the exam, right? So the output that we were getting from the writers, if the bar is here, right? So they're only giving us like here. So there's a huge gap here. So we have to scrap the whole project. And ever since then, trust me, we have been looking very hard to get the right candidates to come on board, and we are, trying to source out other stuff. Um, as of this point, we don't have any modules, but if we do have, it's all in the plan. The planning is all there already. It's just that getting the work done in terms without compromising the quality set by the Cambridge board already. Because trust me, English, even though we are good, we have good writers, when it comes to the writing part, it is very challenging. So we are working very hard on it lah. And trust me, you will be the first ones to know if we have something on. Okay, so I have to leave you with that. And yeah, that's the best we can do right now. We are working on it, not maybe in terms of a full-blown module or something, uh, but we will eventually get there lah. I can't promise you the deadline from this as of this point. Yeah.
Thank you, Miss Martha.
It's
Okay, next question.
yeah.
Maybe you can share with us what is the new updates in Eduseed curriculum?
Okay.
Yeah, and
In
what
terms
is
of
next?
all the other subjects?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, so are we done with the English 1123 and ESL before, because I don't want to circle back to this since we are moving on to other subject. If you do have anything that you probably think of after this session, you can of course email them to, or contact Jessica, and then we will try to help you from there. So for new updates for EduSeed subjects, yes, we have been working on the e-physics grade 8, which have been the topics have been revamped, because there are new topics to include for physics. So we are working from grade 8, and we have actually made half ready, if I'm not mistaken, 801 to 805. Our 806 to 809 is still cooking. Okay, the recipe is done, but we are still cooking. Yeah, so that is coming. And then we are also working on e-chemistry 800. Okay. I hope to get it out by end of this year. Unfortunately, I can't meet your July deadline, so you still have to fall back on the old ones. Yeah, so for you, it will be ready next year only, right? Additionally, and probably our maths head will talk to you about, is on the maths, which is for IG maths and ed math. For those of you who are students taking this level, there are also some syllabus change in both the modern maths and the ed maths. So I believe Mr. Su will come on after this, I believe, Jess. Yeah, so he will give you more details. Okay, so he is more familiar with the components and some of the changes. For others, for other subject overall, yes, we do have something exciting coming, but again, unfortunately, you are starting right in the middle of the year. So we are working on something to help the students on their listening and speaking skills, right? And we are working on it with our English modules for lower grades, lower grades. And we will put in some lessons where students can practice listening and speaking skills uh, while they are on the LMS. We are in the planning stage. We are on the trial stage of this, all the back end technicalities, all the specifications. Hopefully, we can get it ready for you next year. Okay, next school year for you. But yes, that is coming. Because if you notice in our English, we do not have the speaking and listening components for grades 1 to 8. So we are working towards that, and this time we are trying to enable using AI, right? AI is here, whether we like it or not. So we have to get on the bandwagon and go for the journey. Yeah, we cannot deny AI already. So we are trying to use all these tools available for us, right? And we are trying to make Eduseeds better, of course, to bring you the best and for the students. Yeah. Right. Any more questions?
Thank
Any
you for
more?
all the update, Miss Martha.
No problem.
Any more question from Semarang or SD Widya Kirana for primary? Since Miss Martha we here today, yeah.
Oh yeah, by the way, where we can receive the video recorded for this session?
For this session, I will send to all the participants after tomorrow.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
after our training session finish tomorrow, then I will send everything to all the participants. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, thank you.
Miss Martha, another one. It's not a question, but maybe you can share with all the educators with us today. Yeah, some maybe testimonial. Yeah.
On our school, on Eduseeds on a whole.
Yes.
Okay, of course there
Because,
is.
yeah, with us today, some is new educators, some is existing educators for so long become educators. Maybe you can give some motivational words. Yeah.
Okay. Oh, okay. Okay, that's come. Just let me. We have plenty. How Eduseeds started and all that, but most importantly, I believe that when we undertook, I mean, Pastor Kevin, the founder, yeah, when he started Olive, of course, you know the vision. If you go in our website, our story is there, right? The journey in Eduseeds has been long and challenging, but it is kind of uh, enlightening, right? Because when you walk through a tunnel, it is dark, right? Sometimes in the course of working on the curriculum, working with the school, of course, sometimes it seems like you cannot see the light, but we know that the light is at the end of the tunnel, right? And our part is we just keep on going. We keep on walking on that journey because everything else like life, whatever we do, it should be a journey, and when we get there it is so satisfying. And because we believe in what we are doing, it is not how great we are in doing the things that we do. It is why we are doing it. And the why for us is about fulfilling a vision, okay? And it is about the students. It is about empowering the next generation. And as teachers, I'm sure you have your stories to tell, all the difficulties, the student difficulties, parent difficulties, your own difficulties. We all have the challenges, right? But if you look back, I'm sure you have the good moments with the students, the fun moments, something that makes you go back home and say, you know what the student said today or what he did today. I'm sure as educators, you all have that joy of bringing back home. But at the end of the day, for me, I believe, and this is based on my own experience, um, I believe all of us are like a tree. And I always go back, for me, it's always the word of God and how we are all trees, right? And we are all planted with next to the river. And it is always to stay connected to the source because that's when we can grow. And then when we grow, it is then we can give fruits, bear fruits to others. Yeah. So to encourage you, don't think that whatever you're doing is not important. You come, you teach, and you go, and then there's so much of difficulties. No, it's not that. It's not that. It is about the purpose. Every one of us has a purpose here. And how well we get to the end of the journey or the destination, that is going to be all the more meaningful if there is a purpose. Otherwise, we will be like headless chicken, I'm sorry to use that analogy, we're just running around in circles. But if you don't have a purpose to what you are doing, what you are imparting, we in Eduseeds, yeah, that's why our tagline is seeding education for the 21st century. What it means is we want to empower, we want to unleash the creativity in students, we want to give children hope. Because students on their own, there's so many different types of learners, right? Visual, auditory, slow, fast, struggling, and all of that. But the challenge comes like when we as educators, we understand each and every one. And in EduSeeds, we put in so much of work in preparing the content, preparing the questions, preparing the tests, and the teacher's guide. So you know why? Because then you don't have to do that load that takes up 2-3 hours a day. We take that load off you. We give you this so you can connect with every child, because children they are very clever. They are very good psychologists, I will always tell them, and they are very good negotiators. Would you all agree? Because more than what you say to them, they will watch us on how we are saying to them. So we want you to play the role of a mentor, play the role of a coach, play a role of a friend when you need to, but give them an opportunity to say, I did so bad, but my teacher still gave me a good motivation. She said, you didn't get all 10 wrong. You got 2 right. Let's rejoice in that and see how we can make it better for the next ones. Yeah. So that's why we take the load off you educators. We give you all of this so you can spend time to enhance and you make the learning journey for the students more meaningful. So when they go back home, they feel, not only satisfied, they know, teacher so and so said that this and this. So we want you to play that role. Facilitate the lesson, become a mentor, learn to impart. And of course, we are praying for patience for teachers all the time because it is not easy, yeah. So I want to leave you with that. We started EduSeeds with the founder's vision. We are carrying the vision through, and now our task is to make it better. To make it better, we are trying to use AI. We are trying to use all the tech tools that we have, and we want to do what we can to help you make it even better for you. So you guys, educators, young men, young women, old men, old women, right? So you can shine as educators and carry the torch for them. So I want to leave you with that. I hope that is encouraging for all of you.
Thank you, Miss Martha, for the words of motivational.
Yeah, thank you so much, Ibu
Yeah.
Martha, for the words this
Sama-sama.
morning.
Yeah.
Okay, there is somebody's asking a question. Oh, okay. So, okay, I want to somebody is asking if the student finishes, let's say grade 8 in April or May, can they start with grade 9? Now, your school calendar starts in July, correct? Right? So, what you can do is, if they finish in April or May, so they still have June, they can jump into the lessons, they can start because there's no module ordering, it's just the lessons, right? So they can they can familiarize themselves with the content itself. So they know what is the expectation, what is IGCSE expectation from them. So they are also mentally prepared and they know what to do. Yeah, I would encourage you to start. He will have more time. He doesn't need any additional time. If he starts early, he will have more time. The examinations are conducted October, November, right? And if they want to take the May, June, they can. It depends on your school and the location that you are in. Because some papers, not all papers, most papers, core papers are done in May, June, and October and November. So if the students finish fast, obviously they can. But I do want to add though that it all depends if your class is on a self-paced mode or a classroom mode. That will make a difference.
But in our class, usually just using method of self-paced. So just one or two students that get IGCSE level.
Okay. Then it's a little bit easier. They can finish faster and be prepared faster.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. I guess there's no more questions.
Yeah, I think it's a very good session today. Yeah, to have Miss Martha
Thank
with
you.
us. Yeah. Actually,
helpful.
other centers want to join, but they can't due to their school graduation and also their PTC, the parents
Okay.
teacher conference, by this week. So it's okay. I will share this video with them. So anything they will come back to us. Okay, I think that's all for we finish early from the time. But it's good. I think again I want to thank you. We want to thank you to Miss Martha, for your time. And share with us about the English and also all the updates. Surely, okay.
Sure. Thank you for having me. And I hope that you can just connect with us through Jessica for any issues. We will always try to help to see how we can empower you as educators. Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Okay. So we will end the session for our first session. And we will continue again at 1 o'clock. And Mr. Su will be with us at 1 o'clock today. Okay, so prepare all your questions. Okay, and till we meet again later. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you. Bye.
Thank you, Jessica. See you all.